Gentlemen, you have both performed so extensively in our so-called cultural centers, the East and West Coast. Do you feel that our cultural life, at least in the area of music, is becoming or is still confined too much to these centers? Mr. Bernstein, would you like to take a crack at it first?
By centers, do you mean the great metropolises, or do you mean the new cultural centers that are being built in them?
I mean the metropolises, yes.
No, as a matter of fact, there's tremendous diversity taking place. Diversification, I should say, because it's in the process of happening. But there has been a tremendous spread away from the metropolises to smaller cities, to university campuses, communities of various sorts and sizes. It's, popularly referred to as the cultural explosion, which is a word that occasions some dismay among the higher brow critics. But it's a thing that I am very proud of and happy to see happening, because it's not a fake explosion, it's a real one. And it's penetrating everywhere in the country.
Mr. Ellington, how do you feel on the same point?
Well, I just am very happy to know that the American audience is maturing.
And maturing, you feel, across the country?
Oh, yes, definitely.
What evidence do you find in your concerts of this?
Of this? Well, ours is a rather separate one. It's in that, everybody gets their own audience, more or less. And, of course, ours is spread over a long period. We find people who met when we were playing Mood Indigo at a prom, or the baby was born when Caravan came out, or Don't Get Around Much Anymore. They were seeing Husband Off to War or something like that. And we cover a lot of different generations, And so it's, you just sort of automatically have an appraisal of the scene.
But wouldn't you say, Duke, that one of the great signs of this explosion I was talking about is that we really share the same audiences to a much greater extent than we used to? I mean, as you say, you have your own audience. Well, that used to be true, and I suppose our kind of music, if you could say such a thing, used to have its own audience. But now you can't tell them apart anymore. I mean, the same kids and the same excited people come to hear you as come to hear me. And that's something new.
What I have... I've been trying to, in talking of saying, trying to decategorize this it's American music, I would say, of the stuff that we're in anyway. And it's getting to the point now where the modern contemporary composer and the guy who's supposed to be a modern jazz composer, they all come out of the same conservatories.
Exactly.
And it's very difficult to find a place to draw the line.
Well, you were certainly one of the pioneers in that.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't come out of the conservatory.
No, but you were one of the first people who wrote so-called symphonic jazz.
I had a conservatory in the Capitol Theater.
That's right, exactly.
Sit there and listen to the symphony before the picture.
Well, maybe that's really the difference between us, that you wrote symphonic jazz and I wrote jazz symphonies.
Love you,
Something
man.
like that.